driving Immersion. If this is your first time here, we drive with the most realism. There are no driver's aids, no traction control, no anti-lock brakes. Manual use of ERS with a manual transmission. We have full fuel use and tire wear simulation with manual pit stops. There are no track guides and no assisted steering or braking. We also drive from the seat with a driver's view using a steering wheel with pedals. If you like the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing or following us. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. In this presentation, we are taking on our first race of the 2020 season as it was programmed in the game. A full 22 races with varying venues. This year we have our own team with our own liveries and our own development facilities. More on that on following episodes. We're going to jump right into the racing. Here we go. We qualified 13th. And for some reason, F1 2020 gives you a better grip from the start, or at least better modulation of the throttle pedal. That was a hard bump into Perez, but we only have a warning for it. But I have to get around him and the other racing point here, as they are always very tough competitors for the middle of the crowd. And you can see there that I dove right in and got right up to Vettel, which is the Ferrari just in front of us. Let's have another look at the start. Here we go. And a lot of tire smoke from everybody. We can see there that we haven't slipped back, which is something that was very common in F1 2019. And there are the two racing points, and we're going to try to get around them. And you can see here the dive that I take, which was just right on. Perfect timing with just enough space between Vettel and Perez. And you can see here how we're going to come up to the Ferrari. And we're able to dive right in. There's a little bit of a nudge, but it wasn't enough to create a warning or a penalty. We're riding now with Perez, looking at the Ferrari with the 66, our car just in front. Little bump there again with the Ferrari. Vettel put his nose in, and there was just nowhere to go. So in F1 2020, you can hear a little bit more thumping with the car hitting the ground. I think it's just a feature that they'd like to keep in F1. A couple of years ago, they said that the audience likes to see the spark coming out from underneath the cars, so they're able to ride pretty close to the ground. Here we are back with the 66. Looking back at Vettel right behind us. have Vettel right behind. You can see him in the rear view mirror. And he's actually pretty close and tucked in. Quite desperate to get around. Very difficult right-hander here. And I'm doing everything I can to get away, but we started off with a very low fuel load. Actually, it's full, but it's not enough to finish the race. So from the start of the race to pretty close to the end, we're running on medium fuel. So all I have to help the car go faster is the ERS, which changed for 2020. And the way that I have it set up, I push a button in the steering wheel and I have a boost. As soon as I let go of that button, the boost stops. And that way I can control exactly when I use it throughout the lap. And sometimes I may use it to pull away a little bit just to guarantee myself a little space so that the car behind, like Vettel here, can't get around or jump in on the turn. Here he is, pretty close. I was actually able to back him up, and Perez got in. So by this time DRS is active, and you can see there that Perez was able to catch up a little bit.
Okay, we're low on fuel. Try shifting up the gears a little sooner. This should help us save some fuel. The gap to the car ahead is 6.8 seconds.
So I started the race with 0.85 laps behind. We would, based on the calculations, not finish the race. But again, I have it on normal flow, and we're going to slowly look at to see if we're able to recover some of that fuel by not using as much as we go around the track. And you were able to see there that from 8.5 we were down to 7 something. I tried to start the race off with lean, and that's why those cars are kind of behind us, but I can't really keep them behind for this much longer. So again, I boosted it back up to medium or normal. If they get too close, I may have to change the fuel mixture to rich. From my experience with F1 2019, sometimes you can catch the racing points back up after they pass you, but usually once the Ferrari gets around, he just disappears off into the distance. So that's a car that we're not going to want to let pass us as much as possible, and that's why we may have to use the rich fuel mixture along with the ERS just to keep him behind. Still ahead here, lap 6. And I'm actually in 9th place now at this point. So we have Charles Leclerc and the other Ferrari. He and the other cars have disappeared into the unknown there. Again, we were keeping all these cars behind us because we started off with a lean fuel mixture just to see if we could pick some up, just so that we can finish the race. There's Perez with the DRS, and I didn't feel anything to see if we were able to touch or nudge, but he spun there on turn 1, coming out of turn 2, and for the moment he has disappeared. So behind us we have a Ferrari. Taking a look ahead, again this is Leclerc, and he has one of the McLarens in front of him. Can't quite make out who that is right now.
The gap to the car ahead is increasing by a few tenths per lap.
So as you heard, the cars in front are pulling ahead, just slowly, which is not too bad. Again, we have a rookie team here, so the car development's not as far as advanced as some of the other teams would be. Back with the 66. Turn 16 into the main straight. In the first DRS zone, we don't have a car in front of us right now, obviously, so we can't use it. Turn 1 and 2 here. Again, having another further look up ahead, this is Alexander Albon in the Red Bull with Verstappen and the other Red Bull in front of him. So two teammates, bumper to bumper here. Riding with Verstappen. Nope, this is still Albon. He's looking on to Verstappen. This is Verstappen. And ahead of him, that would be Lewis Hamilton. And right now in first place is Valtteri Bottas, number 77 in the the Mercedes. So lap 10 here, and you can see that our tires are worn about 20%. We won't try to take them to 50% wear, so I think our first pit stop here is scheduled at lap 17. Riding again with Vettel, I think he's stayed back a little bit, maybe to preserve his tires. And that's us in the 66 just ahead. He's not in range for the DRS. He did gain a little ground, as you can see. In F1 2020, there's a lot of work to do using the ERS along with DRS, and then your fuel mixture. There may be instances as well, for example in weather or time. For example, this race takes place late in the afternoon, you can see that it will get a little bit darker as the race progresses, so things will change, and you may have to change the brake bias based on the ambient temperature and so on, or the tire wear. So that's another thing that we have to maintain while driving. Coming into 15 here, which is very, very slow. And coming out of 16, actually pretty complicated, as you don't want to get on the throttle too early because you'll have to back off and kill time on the straight there.
15.1 seconds.
So my teammate on this team is Mick Schumacher, and he is 15 seconds behind. You'll see he has the same livery, but he's got a fluorescent green or fluorescent yellow helmet. And I'm sure we'll see him later on. And you can see that Vettel is catching up little by little. At this point, I'm not modulating the fuel mixture at all, and I'm staying in normal again. I'm trying to calculate to see how much we can recover.
Front is 8.4 seconds.
You can see here now at lap 12, we are down to negative 6.2 laps. And again, you may remember we started out with negative 8.5, so it looks like we are actually saving fuel in the normal fuel mixture. And it's something that we'll have to calculate better later on as we drive this car, so that we can start to use the rich fuel mixture evenly throughout the race, because the way that we're driving now is obviously not fast enough. However, it is recovering fuel, and if we're able to balance the usage so that we run out just after we cross the finish line, then that would be optimum. But right now, again, very hesitant to use the rich fuel mixture. I think closer we get to the end of the race, we may be more confident to use it. But without that, I'm actually doing pretty well in front of Vettel. A little bit of a lock up there. Turn 13 here. '14 and then 15. Again, 15 very slow. And you want to be able to straighten the car out as soon as possible so that you can accelerate as soon as you can to get through the straight here. So we still have Vettel behind, and this is one of those times that you'll just come to the realization that you're probably not going to lose him. And when you have a situation like that, you also have to understand that once he gets by you, he's going to disappear. Shifting up early there in the 7th gear just to save fuel.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Yes, the super soft tires, the red tires here, are actually pretty sensitive, and you can wear them out quite early.
Be on the softs.
But at the same time, you have to use them. There's no reason to be too gentle with them, as their main purpose is for grip. Turn 9 again. So when we accelerate here out of turn 16, we get on the ERS button there just very momentarily as we accelerate. Once we get up to 8th gear, we just let it go. ERS again, just very, very momentarily, or very quickly. In F1 2020, you won't make a whole lap with the ERS activated at passing. In fact, you may be able to do half a lap, but that's the reason why I have it set up so that it's only activated once you have the button depressed. There's Vettel again. He's making very good gains on us, but not enough speed there to get by us. And the areas where he is able to pass us, we have the ERS depressed. There he is. He's coming into the pits. Since he's not making up any time.
We want to pit this lap, so
As he's not able to get by us, he'll come in. I believe lap 16 he's early, just to be able to clear the track of us in front of him. Perez does the same. Again, turn 9 here is very complicated. You can't shortcut it because there's a very tall curb on the inside. And the exit is also pretty precarious. You have to modulate the throttle coming out of third, using fourth, and then once you get into fifth is when you can basically floor it or give it full throttle. But not until then, because you are still coming out of a turn and the car just spins right out. Again, it's a new characteristic here in F1 2020. In F1 2019, only had a little bit of that problem, but it was very slight. Here we are coming into the pits. It is lap 17. And we are going to stay with the program as the tires are in the 40%. I think the only reason that we may have had to stay out is if Vettel didn't come in when he did. But since he came in early, he is now going faster than us.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
And there he is. So he was a little bit faster on his exit than we were on our entrance lap. So we come out of the pits right behind our teammate here. Again, I picked Mick Schumacher as my teammate.
Use your own.
You want to knock off your teammate. Pretty close enough that we can use the DRS, and we're just going to wait patiently until we can clear him. Here we are, and the pit stops actually work for us. You can see there that the 2 racing points are behind, so they didn't get by. This is my teammate in the first car here, and the other racing point coming in. Coming back around to find us, here we are in the 66. We have Vettel ahead of us now, and he is just in sight. Still not using the rich fuel mixture. But in hindsight, I may have, or I should have used it, because we could have probably made up the several seconds that we are behind here. There we are, about 4 or 5 seconds with the pass button, for the ERS button. Looking back at the 66 from Vettel's car, he does have very good speed here, which is an indication that he may be using a richer fuel mixture, at least in the straights. Yeah, he put a lot of distance between us and him on that final sector of that lap. We are able to make up some of that though in the first sector here as he is back in sight. Steady on the throttle. I think in hindsight I may have used the overtake button a little bit more often or a little bit longer on this infield part. But I was just not comfortable bringing it down to 25% or less. So I'm not making any headway on Vettel here, but at least we're keeping up with him. And maybe we can return the favor during the next set of pits, as this is a two-stop race. Okay, so I did pretty well on that last sector.
Teammate behind is 28.7 seconds.
And if I'm going to make any headway here on Vettel, I have to do it pretty soon. These tires will start wearing down. Again, we're only going to keep these on for 17 laps. Slight mistake there coming out of the turn. It looked like I had my tires on the curb there while I accelerated, and the car started to come around a little bit and I had to catch it. So as long as we're still going, not too bad. Another mistake there, and if I remember correctly, just too much throttle and the car snapped and pointed me towards the grass, so I had to back off. Again, if you lose traction in the rear, you're going to back off the throttle, and that just costs time. So it's more important to be gentle on the throttle than to go faster, I guess.
Ahead is 2.1 seconds.
So he's still in range. So he's getting a very good jump on the straight there. He must be using that ERS quite a bit. And then I think closer to the end of the lap, where it's a little bit more turns and a little bit slower, I'm able to make ground on him. But he's definitely taking advantage of the long straight there. Easy on the throttle. There we go, full gas. Lap 25 now, and by calculations, we should be stopping at lap 34. And you can see there that the tires have 19% wear. So they're definitely declining. We don't have a big struggle with them yet, but it will be happening soon. And at this point, if Vettle's car and my car are equal, then he's maintaining a better lap. Again, very easy on the throttle there coming out of the chicane. think if I can get closer, I may be able to use the DRS. But at this point, we're at least a couple of seconds behind. Overshot it there, very slow. There we are on the overtake button. Again, for only about 3 or 4 seconds. And you might have seen in the distance there when we were exiting the straight, we are a good distance from Perez right now. You can see here at this point that the Ferrari's got more fuel than us to burn. Yeah, if you can see there on the display, just under the speed, it says that he's got 26.90 laps of fuel, and there's only 28 laps left, so he can continue to burn more fuel. So we're making a lot of adjustments there on the steering wheel. That's ERS. So if we look at the fuel readings here from the third person, you can see that it also gives us a reading on how much we have left. However, when we are in first person view, if you look at the same fuel display, it shows that the number of laps that we have left on fuel, and it's usually a negative at this point. So I'm still in negatives. But again, if we drive under the normal fuel mixture, we are saving fuel. There we are, first person view. We can see that we are minus 2.4 laps behind. Means that
we need to change to low fuel mix as soon as possible.
Means that by lap 58, we would have run out 2 laps ago. But you can also see there that we have 27.4 laps of fuel left. So we're doing good on saving fuel, and we're just waiting for the point where we can start to burn more and use the rich fuel mixture. I think looking back in hindsight, we should have been using the rich fuel mixture along with the ERS to gain the ground here, to challenge Vettel. You can see here that even under the normal fuel mixture, we are able to keep up with him. So if we use the higher fuel mixture, the rich, we may have been able to get around him. So the front left there is at 31% wear.
Okay, you're dropping a few tenths per lap to the car ahead. They're edging away.
And they're going to start slowing us down. But Vettel's tires there are 1 lap older than mine, so if he's able to keep them together without wear, a little bit better than me, then he should continue to go faster here. So I guess credit to us, we were able to keep up with him. Having a look at the leaders here. This is Lewis Hamilton. And then he may have gotten around Bottas already. Going around to lap my teammate. There we are on board. Guess that's Bottas just behind, so he's in second place now. Again, also getting around my teammate here. There's the blue light indicating the blue flag to let the leaders come by. So he's using the ERS in that very short stretch from 15 to 16. Which is kind of hard to believe because you really have to watch the traction accelerating from corner to corner like that. Perhaps it's something that we may try in the future. Maybe we can get a little bit more speed that way. There we are. Accelerated a little bit early, and you can see what happened.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
So we are at the pit window, which means that we can pit now and change the tires if we see cause. However, the tires are actually wearing just as expected. There is no one directly in front of us or no one behind us trying to get by.
It is 3.1 seconds.
So Vettel is getting away. But we're going to complete these laps and go on to lap 34 to do the normal strategy for the tire changes. I think if the tires were worn a little bit more, we may come in early just to be able to make up a little time here. But again, we're coming onto the mediums, which are slower, I think, by 1.6, 1.8 seconds. So we don't want to rush getting those on just yet. And we're going to maximize our time here with the softs, the red tires.
Vettel is stopping now.
So Vettel came in. Again, he is pitting a lap earlier than us, just as he did the first time. So he must be experiencing the same amount of wear as we are. But I guess he also avoided the 2 cars in front of us instead of having to pass them and slowing down and killing time. He pitted ahead. If we were in a situation where the cars were slowing us down, the cars in front of us. then that may have been cause for us to stop ahead one lap early as well. But they're getting away a little bit here. Again, these tires are worn, so we're not making up too much time in the cars ahead of us. Okay, so next time around,
we're boxing this lap.
next time around we're going to come in and change tires.
We're going to have to go very easy to recover enough to see the race out.
Yeah, so at this point, we are on lap 34, more than halfway through the race. We are still in a deficit with the fuel. But instead of 8 laps behind, we are only 1 lap behind now, 1.12. So we have been saving fuel. If we keep at this pace, without using the rich fuel mixture, we will finish the race. However, we are saving fuel a little bit faster than that. Here we are. We should be coming in for a tire change here. Very cautious with the pit lane entrance there. I always get caught speeding.
Go, go, go.
I believe that was 2.7 seconds. Our first stop was 2.4. So not too bad. Now, when we were using the older tires and losing pace to Vettel, the racing points actually started gaining on us as well. You can see there that they are on the mediums already. So perhaps, again, in hindsight, coming in 1 lap early would have been optimal, because that's how much time we lost. And if you remember looking back, while we were exiting the straight, this racing point was just coming in to view, so he gained a few hundred yards, if not the length of the pit straight, just because we were going slower on worn tires. Still, we're not able to use our rich fuel mixture, but I think once we're able to start plugging it into our program here, we should be able to start going faster. The car is getting lighter, so even though we put on these medium tires, which are not as grippy as the red tires, we should be able to do slightly faster laps.
Gap to car in front is 1.7.
So Vettel is about 10 seconds ahead of us now. So we really lost a lot of time on those older tires and coming in and changing them. This ahead of us is Raikkonen.
Mick is in the pits. Mick in the pits.
Our teammate is in the pits, as you heard.
Okay, at the current pace and fuel settings, we won't have enough fuel for the end of the race. Consider lowering the fuel mix.
Yeah, again, that indicator there for the fuel level is a little bit misleading. At this point, if we keep burning fuel at this rate, we'll be at minus 0.85 laps, but again, because we are burning it so slowly, or at a slower rate than we're using it, we should have more fuel, or an excess of fuel in just a few laps, with at least 20 laps to go. There's Raikkonen coming in for a pit. So again, we are battling with one of the Racing Points. Just as in real life, they do very well with that Mercedes engine, and are always competitive week to week.
Bottas has just put in a new fastest lap.
We are really not making any gains on Perez here. Big slip there, coming out of 13, lockup in 15. At this point, Perez is within DRS zone, or the DRS limit, and he's got it activated. You can see here that he's making gains on us. We are using the overtake button, so he doesn't get too far. And this is where we start using the rich fuel mixture, but only very slightly. And again, I had learned from F1 2018 that you can maximize your gains with the fuel mixture.
0.4 seconds.
You can make your gains through the straights. And you can get a lot of time or get a lot of speed and power out of the ERS coming out, entering the straight. So first you have to use the ERS, and then you have to use the fuel mixture coming into every straight. Here we are riding with Perez. You can see that we are just in sight. He's got his DRS open, and he's right under our ring here. No, I'm sorry, that's not Perez, that's Lance Stroll. I think Perez is the one that spun out out of turn 1 or 2,
Gap to teammate behind is
so he should be further back.
2 seconds.
He does get ahead there, but I'm still in the challenge. So good try. I got it very wrong coming out of that exit there, and he is in the game. So can't afford any mistakes. Again, he's a faster car right now, showing that he can get by. So if he does get by, I won't be able to keep up with him unless I use the rich fuel mixture. Here we go onto the straight. He's got his DRS open.
Our gap to the car in front is 14.0 seconds.
Second part of the DRS zone. And that was just a matter of car placement. I had put my car in front of his, and he had nowhere to go to try and pass me. Obviously, the inside was not enough. So I'm keeping him behind for another lap, or another turn. Lap 41 now, we are still in a deficit of fuel. Still short shifting. So I get a very good exit on Stroll, and he's got his DRS, but he's not close enough. Now he is. He's going to make another attempt. No bumping there, but I kept my nose in it and didn't give him any space. Yeah, definitely if he gets around, he will just disappear into the sunset here ahead of us. Meanwhile, Vettel has disappeared, getting further and further ahead. Again, he's close enough here coming into the straight, so let's see how he does. Usually the first part is not enough to get you to a position where you can pass, but it will get you closer, and it's the second portion here of the DRS zone that will usually place you to be able to pass. But again, I have my car in the right place at the right time, and he's got no room to get around, or at least not enough speed. Oh, he's losing speed. It appears he may have broke. There you are, pulling over, end of the race for Stroll. Let's have another look from the cockpit and see what he sees. So right there, he's got no more power. The engine's still running, transmission still works, but he is not accelerating in any way. And he's just coasting to a stop. Hopefully get it off the track. Into a runoff zone. And that calls for the safety car, as you can see there. So I was trying to get by the Williams here ahead of us just before the safety car lights went on. And obviously it didn't make it, so now I have to stay behind. Now we have to catch up to the safety car queue. So even though there's no passing allowed here, as the driver or the player, if you slow down enough, the car behind you will pass, and it will count as a pass, and you will have to stay behind him. But if the car in front of you, as the AI, if he or if you get by him, you will be called to give that place back. So it's a little bit weird or tricky. So you can see here that we're probably still about 90-95% of our speed, trying to catch the safety car queue. There will be a car behind me trying to do the same, so I can't slow down, because again, he will just pass me and it will count as a pass for him. So even though we're not in line as far as the race goes or as the laps go, I cannot pass the car in front of me, and the car behind me can, and it will count. So right now we're still basically racing to get up to the queue. But at this point, when there's a safety car or a long yellow, you turn your fuel mixture to lean. And we'll see in the next in-car view there that our fuel should be coming up and should indicate a surplus. So we should be catching up to the queue pretty soon here. Don't see any cars yet. There's a short glimpse of the safety car queue. And as you can see that we've been running the last couple of laps in the lean fuel mixture. We now have a surplus of 1.23 laps of fuel. So when the green flag drops, we can start racing with a higher or rich fuel mixture. And on the track, we have one of the Williams in front of us, but as far as the race is concerned, Vettel is ahead of us, and he is now in sight. So this will create a good challenge for us to hopefully get by the Williams here and get up to Vettel, and hopefully there will be a race. We are still under the safety car going around. And again, you have to keep up with the car ahead of you. I think it's 10 lengths. Keeping in mind that if you go too slow, the car behind you will pass, and it will constitute a pass. Riding with Vettel, you can see that we're just one car behind.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
So from the driver's seat here, we can't see when the leader is going to take off. But he will definitely take off on the last turn. There we are, just coming into the picture. Very slowly through there. Trying to back us up. There's the safety car in the pit lane. Now at this point the Williams should have the blue flag, so we should be able to get around him. There we are.
Be aware that these tires need to last till the end of the race.
And I don't know which Renault was that, trying to get in, but oh, that's Esteban Ocon. He's actually in the race, meaning that he is placed right behind us. So if he passes us, that will count as a pass. So now we are racing him. And while we are trying to maintain him back, Vettel is actually able to take off. You can see that the lead cars are just kind of disappearing to the not good. Overshot that definitely, but at least we kept it going. Now, can't remember who this is, but one of the Alfa Romeos should get out of the way. There we are. So we are still quite a ways from Vettel. He got around
behind us is 5.9 seconds.
Easily around some of the back markers here, and we are actually behind our teammate.
But he's is 2.6 seconds.
2.6 seconds. Our teammate here, oh, we bumped. But he should have yielded and given me away, as he would have the blue flag. Okay, now way out of shape. The Alfa Romeo comes back.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button.
Still out of shape, trying to figure out where everybody is. That's our teammate. We're actually not racing with him. That's Botas. He's slowing. He's got a failure as well. And he may be stopping on the long straight, which is causing a yellow flag right now, but it should also cause a safety car. There we are. Pulling over. And we can see the safety car light is on. There he is, coming out of the pits. Again, no overtaking, so even if you are lapping somebody, you cannot pass that car.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So Botas is out of the race, and that will bring us up one more. We should be in 9th place. And we still have our teammate behind us. But again, he's a lap behind at this point. We are way out of shape coming out of there.
Pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10 car lengths of the car ahead.
Okay, so we are caught up to the queue. Oh, if you look there, there's somebody smoking. And if memory serves right, that may be my teammate. And that was a big puff of smoke. It should be Mick Schumacher. I don't see him directly behind us now. So we may be under the safety car a little bit longer, depending on where he was able to exit the track. Still behind the safety car at this point. No racing. So Vettel is a number of cars ahead of us now. Possible to get back up to him at this point. Perhaps we should be happy that we are finishing in the points in our first race with our first team.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
So you saw there, he's about 5 cars ahead of us. And if you look around, you can see that it's getting late into the afternoon, as the sun has been going down for quite a few laps now. We are back to racing, and we will have to make our way around those cars. If we're close enough, they'll get the blue flag and they'll just move over, but we are driving on the grass. There behind us, again, trying to challenge us for a spot, and there he spins. I believe he got a little bit squirrely getting on the grass to get around us, and he spins. We're having a very slow go at it. We have not actually caught up to the cars that we should be lapping at this point.
In front, we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Okay, gap ahead is 6.2 seconds.
So lap 54 of 58, we are 2.53 laps ahead on our fuel. So in hindsight, very likely we should have been using the rich fuel mixture when we were racing with Vettel. So we are back in the game. We are passing these back marker cars here. I believe there's 1, 2, 3 cars to pass. So a little bit longer there on the overtake button.
DRS is now online.
Our DRS will work with these back marker cars as well, so it would benefit us to get up there and race with them. So ahead of me on the track there, that is one of the Haas. And I believe ahead of him, maybe an Alfa Romeo, yep. So we have 2 Haas, an Alfa Romeo, and an AlphaTauri to get by. complete this lap. Well, there will be 2 laps left to go. And the race is winding down. We don't have to worry too much about tire wear or fuel now at this point, so we should be trying to go faster, but we're really not making any headway here on the back markers. Blue lights that they are getting the blue flag warning, so they should be letting me get by, but I have to be close enough in order for them to let me by. Very nice helicopter views there. It gives you a very good sensation of the speed and the distance with the other cars as well. So there's one down. But this may be the final lap. No, not yet. So 2 more laps, including this one. Well, I don't see...
Our gap to the car in front is 9.8 seconds.
Yeah, our challenge here to get around these back markers have very much slowed us down, and it was just indicated that Vettel is 9 seconds away. Obviously, we're not going to catch him by the end of the race. So when we cross the start-finish line here, we've got 1 more lap to go. So we'll just clear these cars and have a safe last lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
Riding now with one of the Alfa Romeos to take us into the final turns of the race.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Ant, talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's have a quick look at how the driver's standings have changed. After an incredible performance, Lewis Hamilton secures the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, for me it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, 9th place is a satisfactory result, especially for the first race of a new team. Thanks for joining us on this presentation. Feel free to comment on your experience. If you like the content, please give us a like or a thumbs up and consider subscribing or following us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.